Blessings, everyone. So taking a moment to find your seat, beginning to drop in, noticing what is alive for you today. I like the term alive. What is alive for you? Meaning that whatever is arising in your being is exactly what you're meant to experience in this moment. Just beginning to slow down the breath as a way of slowing down the thoughts. Gathering all the fragmented parts of your consciousness into this moment, this breath. Feeling that this moment too is also sacred. If you're feeling a little ungrounded or thinking a little bit too much, bring one hand to the heart and feel into the pulse. Slowing down your being to match the rhythm of your heart. And as you begin to slow down, just noticing what is arising, scanning the four intelligences, what is alive in your mind right now. What is alive in your heart and emotions. What is alive in your body and your cells. And what is alive in your spirit. And just recognizing whatever the experience is in this moment is simply an alarm clock reminding you to come back to loving yourself. And with all of the tension that has been arising, even with the shelter-in-place order yesterday, let's start our practice with a little gift and medicine to the heart. So saying to whatever your experience is right now, repeating, I love you, either silently or out loud. I love you. I love you. The more playful, the better. I love you. 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 Even the part of you that feels weird for saying I love you to yourself or feels silly. I love you. I love you. Or to the part of you that doesn't want to love yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. You could say, you are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. Or maybe, I'm sorry you're in pain. 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 Or, I'm sorry you're afraid. I'm sorry you're afraid. I'm sorry you're afraid. I'm sorry you're afraid. I love you. 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 Just feel, notice. And today, my intention is to work with the masculine and the feminine, or if you prefer more non-binary terms, it'd be warrior and healer. So we're going to balance these two energies inside of ourselves. Especially right now, there may be a tendency during this time of intensity to lean one way or the other, to either be so warrior that you're only focused on solution, on a level of, if it comes out of balance, then there's a level of fighting or struggle. Or on the opposing end would be the healer, the nourishment, the nurturing, the slowing down. But if that gets out of balance, then that could become lethargy or depression. And so we're going to work with balancing these two energies inside of ourselves. We all have these expressions of warrior and healer, or masculine and feminine. And for me, it's not just about feeling them, it's about embodying them. That's where true balance lies. Because you're mindful enough of the present moment to feel what part of you, what aspects need to come through, need to arise naturally in order to balance the current feelings. So if you're experiencing the healer being out of balance and being depressed, then bringing in more warrior energy so that you're exercising or going out in nature or doing something like cleaning in order to begin to move the energy. And on the other end, if you are out of balance on the warrior and you're too focused on solution, maybe you're very stuck in the mind, or you begin to reach burnout, so you're feeling sick, or another aspect of being out of balance with the warrior would be not able to relax. And so bringing in more of that healer energy, going to that warrior aspect of the self and saying, what do you need? Maybe slowing down and taking a bath, or practicing some meditation or yoga, going out and going on a very slow and mindful walk, right? All of these would balance the overstimulated warrior. So as we move through our practice today, really noticing the effects on your being, seeing how they show up normally in your life and how they show up at this time of intensity. And so let's start with the feminine. Yeah. So imagining the masculine and feminine aspects of yourself, warrior and healer, inner god and goddess, inside the temple of your heart. They're both you. They're both beautiful and amazing and perfect as they are. So imagining both aspects visually, if that resonates with you. Maybe it's more of a feeling for you, feeling the energies of the masculine, the feminine, the warrior, and the healer in the heart. Imagining inner warrior and inner healer gazing into each other's eyes, seeing one another, honoring one another, revering one another. And as they gaze into one another's eyes, they could place a hand on each other's heart, accepting, loving, and feeling gratitude, cherishing one another inside your being, honoring that both aspects of the self, warrior and healer, in the form of the higher self are seated in the heart of the Creator right now. You can even bring the hands together at the heart, imagining each hand as that inner God or inner goddess touching one another's heart. And imagining that divine feminine being tall, standing proud, feeling exalted as you slowly bring the left hand up over the head. And I welcome you to bend the wrist if that feels natural. However you could feel and embody that divine feminine inside of you right now, feeling every cell of the body as the divine feminine, as the healer, the goddess. And then imagining that inner warrior, that inner God, bowing to the inner feminine. So taking the right hand down to the earth, imagining that inner God bowing to the goddess, fully honoring her and seeing her, offering to her reverence, gratitude, and love. And as we do this, as we exalt our own being, our own divine feminine, clearing away all that is no longer serving us, all of the dark feminine, the power struggles between the warrior and healer in your life and in the collective consciousness, clearing away the need for struggle, the need for change, any out of balance, lethargy, depression, struggle, hopelessness, clearing all of it out of your mind and out of your thoughts, out of your heart and out of your emotions, out of your body and out of your cells, clearing it out of the dark feminine, clearing it out of the divine feminine, returning it to the source of its origin, clearing it out of the collective consciousness to be alchemized into love completely and healed to completion throughout all lifetimes, timelines, universes, moments, and dimensions. Deep breath in, feeling the divine feminine, breathing it in, and then sighing it out. Once again, that divine feminine receives that help and nourishment from the Creator. And then one more deep breath, receiving. Exalting the self. Imagining that inner God, that inner warrior, placing his forehead on the feet of the goddess, thanking her, honoring her, and loving her. Saying a little prayer for your inner goddess, from your inner warrior, your inner God. And as you feel ready and complete, slowly bringing both hands back to the heart, imagining that inner God, inner warrior standing back up. And once again, inner God and goddess gazing into one another's eyes with the hands on each other's hearts. Seeing, honoring, and loving one another. Looking in each other's eyes, fully in love with all aspects of the other. Harmonizing, balancing, and equalizing, fully embodying both of these energies. Feeling the exchange, the tantric exchange inside your being. And then imagining that inner God, that inner warrior fully embodied in your being, bringing the right hand up this time. That inner God, that inner warrior standing tall, feeling those masculine qualities, that power, strength, doing, focus, being embodied fully inside your being. So however that expresses, really trying to cultivate that connection. And then imagining that inner divine feminine, that inner goddess, The inner healer bowing to the inner God, the inner warrior, taking the left hand down to the earth. The inner goddess honoring all the qualities, the positive qualities of the masculine, of the warrior, honoring all that the warrior does and accomplishes, all the warrior stands for. And as we do this, clearing away any toxic masculinity or dark masculinity out of your energy field and out of the collective consciousness, clearing away any addiction to work, overdoing, over accomplishing, over efforting, any attachment to accomplishment for validation and worth, clearing all of it out of your energy field and the energy field of the collective consciousness, clearing away any old power struggles between the masculine and the feminine, any residual traumas from the patriarchy, clearing it out of your energy field and the energy field of the collective consciousness, clearing it out of your mind and out of your thoughts, clearing it out of your heart and out of your emotions, clearing it out of your body, your cells, your cellular memory, and your DNA, returning it to the source of its origin, to be alchemized into love completely and healed to completion throughout all lifetimes, timelines, universes, dimensions, and moments. Deep breath in, the masculine receiving from the heart of the Creator. And then sighing it out. No longer yours to carry. Inhale, receiving through the inner warrior. Exhale, sighing. All of the warriors throughout all time, sighing with you, releasing any old toxic patterns and conditioning. And then the inner goddess taking her forehead and placing it on the feet of the warrior, honoring, seeing, and loving all that the warrior is, regardless of all moments. The warrior feels seen, heard, and embodied. As we slowly bring the hands back together to the heart, imagining that divine feminine, divine masculine, standing, facing one another, seeing one another, honoring one another, loving one another. Imagine masculine and feminine, warrior and healer, embracing one another, heart to heart. All of their energetic systems harmonizing, equalizing, and balancing one another. And slowly they begin to dissolve into light, embodying that energy from the heart of the Creator and heart of the earth, merging into one in the temple of your heart. We'll gently imagine them now seated in the temple of the heart, fully embodied, fully witnessing and expressed in all moments, past, present, and future. Imagining inner warrior and inner healer seated inside of the mind and every thought from this point forward and this point back, fully expressed and embodied, felt and experienced. Inner warrior and healer, God and goddess, seated inside of every cell of the body, every strand of DNA to be fully felt and expressed, experienced, and embodied throughout all moments, past, present, and future. And both aspects, God and goddess, warrior and healer, seated inside of every emotion that you've ever experienced or will experience. That balanced, harmonized energy being fully felt, expressed, embodied, and experienced throughout every single emotion, throughout all time. Gently taking the hands to the top of the head, imagining inner warrior and healer seated inside the crown chakra at the top of the head. Inner warrior and healer, harmonize and equalize, seated inside the ajna, the third eye chakra. Inner warrior and healer, seated inside the throat, to be embodied through all expressions and truths. Inner God and goddess, seated now inside of the heart chakra, to be expressed in all forms of love. Inner God and goddess, warrior and healer, seated inside of the navel, bringing your hands to the navel in the third chakra, Manipura. That inner God and goddess expressed in all of your will, in all that you do and accomplish, in all that you digest. Inner God and goddess, seated now at the second chakra, right above the pubic, right above the pubic bone. That inner God and goddess expressed in sensuality, sexuality, creativity, art, manifestation, birthing new ideas in life. Bring the hands to the base of the spine, at the tailbone. Inner God and goddess seated inside of the root chakra, the Muladhara, to be fully felt and experienced in our connection to family, in our lineage and ancestry, in our feelings of safety. And gently releasing the mudra, and just take a moment to just sit here in silent meditation and feel the effects. I invite you now, if you feel called and it feels right to you, to make a declaration, a prayer, an intention, to fully embody the warrior and the healer in all moments, and to notice when one has gotten out of balance, and like a child, to gently bring that aspect of yourself back into harmony. So I invite you to set that prayer now. Imagining when you feel complete in your prayer, inner God and goddess, warrior and healer, gazing through your eyes as you take 3 to 4 slow breaths to open the eyes up. And the hands to the heart if that feels right to you. You are the love of God and goddess embodied in form, as I and all beings are God and goddess embodied in form. I honor this inner God and Goddess, this inner love that all of us are, and we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for praying and playing today. Love you all. And I hope and pray that every day gets lighter, brighter, and easier for you. May we learn to embody these energies for the highest love of all beings. See you tomorrow.